What's going on, guys? Cliffy here. Today, not only a historic day in New Zealand cricket, but world cricket is today. We have the very first day-night test match. It'll be going on right now as you guys will be watching this video. Very, very cool. Obviously, New Zealand and Australia taking part in the very first one. So that is, I guess, the historical fact of today. Now let's go and get into the video. So today we're back in the Australian domestic competition, playing for the Redbacks, and we scored an absolutely massive total. I can't quite work it out at the moment for you, but I know both openers went and scored hundreds. One of them scored a big 100, about 160, and we've just gone and picked up a wicket there. So broken the partnership that did seem to be going quite well between Red and Khawaja. So now we have Chris Lynn and bowling in the power play, which I don't like doing, but hey, as captain, sometimes it's one of those things you have to do, and it came off pretty well. I mean, we picked up a wicket in just our third ball. That one there has been clipped away. We'll just end up going for the one. So, last episode, obviously, we were playing in the Test series against England, and we still actually have one test left to play in that. It's quite weird sometimes how Don Bradman works, how it basically stops you mid-series, lets you go back and play domestic cricket. Well, I guess the Test series probably would still be going on, but that's right. That is a story for another day to talk about. But, you know, things are going pretty well in that series. And I think it was the third or fourth test. I'm not 100% sure of which one it was. But we had an absolute ripper of a game. Scored two 50s in both innings. One of them was an 83, which I was very impressed with. It was only towards the end that, you know, I was really hoping I was going to go and get 100. But towards the end, I just went for a shot, dragged it out to deep mid-wicket rather than going down the ground, and was out caught on the boundary, which is a bit of a shame that we couldn't go and get to that three-figure mark. But we will get there. We'll get there one day. The batting really has improved. And to back that up as well, finished it off with a 6 for 17 in the first innings, I think, and then about a 2 for 10 in the second. So no doubt we were named man of the match in that game. It was a very impressive game, stats-wise, for us. And I think it really did signal our intent, you know, in that New Zealand Test side, that, you know, we are a force to be reckoned with. We should be at number 6. We should be batting there. We've scored runs. We've scored them pretty consistently now as well, which is good. You know, normally it was just bits and pieces here and there, but consistently getting it up. And obviously the back-to-back half centuries really going and I guess pushing home that point. So hopefully we can continue on that form. We obviously didn't get a bat today, but we are going to go and carry on with the ball and hopefully just try and get some skills up now that we're back playing some domestic cricket and just improve on, I guess, our already pretty impressive record when it comes to domestic play. So that is what is on the agenda. That's what I've got to do. I'm wearing my black cap singlet today, obviously, to show support for the boys. I'm recording this a wee bit earlier just because I'm trying to go and get on top of things. But no doubt I will be watching the day-night test somewhere. I mean, I'll probably be at work. I will be at work. But no doubt we'll have it on the TVs there. We'll be playing it, watching, and just supporting, just seeing, I guess, how the whole concept goes. There's been a lot of talk going on about it, obviously, in the media. There's been a lot of talk going around with my mates, a lot of talk with me. You know, just about it and just how it is going to change the game. You know, possibly for the better. A lot of people are saying, you know, you can't change Test cricket. I don't think they're changing it. You know, they're just trying to evolve it more than anything. So, and I mean, if it doesn't work, if it, you know, the crowds don't come in, the ball's not quite right, there's no reason why they can't go back and play them. Obviously, the day-night test match is something that they're planning on using in the future, but it's something that's not set in stone. Like, not every test from here on out is going to be a day-night test match. You know, you're still going to get, obviously, was it 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you know, one of those two start times. You're still going to get your day tests, you know, obviously in venues that don't have, I guess, the sufficient lighting that possibly, you know, grounds in Australia and possibly, you know, grounds in New Zealand. The major stadiums in New Zealand would have, I guess, you know, have those access, you would say, to the lights. Smaller grounds, you know, like Hagley Oval. I know they have got lights in before, like temporary lights, but I don't think they're doing that this season. But, you know, smaller grounds obviously don't always have access to it, so it will be interesting to see how it does play out. I don't think, as I said, it's going to be every single test that they are going to use a pink ball and use the day-night test for. You know, but it is a nice change, and I mean, I've seen, this was another point that I was making when I was chatting with people about it, and just from like what I've seen when it was used in Shield cricket, Like the crowds that came in for that, and like I don't know what the crowds are like for Shield cricket. Obviously over here we don't get many crowds for, well, I guess any format really. 2020 probably mostly, but you know, first class games don't really get, I guess, the coverage that they do overseas. So you know, and to see the crowds there, obviously for a 4-day game, which is for, you know, I guess the purists. I wouldn't say older fans of the game, because I'm a guy who, like, I love watching first class cricket. I love watching test cricket. I think it's just, you know, the mental side of it more than anything. You know, it takes, I guess it's a different kind of skill set. Like I was going to say, you know, it takes in one-day cricket and 2020 cricket, you just got to be a bit lucky, but I don't think that's the case. You know, you still got to have obviously those skills that you can execute, still have the skill set as a batsman, as a bowler. But Test cricket is really more, you know, it is more about your mental approach and wanting to bat a long time, bowling to your plan and sticking to your plan, bowling a long spell. You know, whereas one-day cricket and 2020 cricket, you know, you're gonna rock up, you're gonna bowl your 4 overs, you're gonna bowl your 10 overs, kind of thing. You're gonna bat. You're not gonna want to. Well, you're not gonna try and bat for the whole day. You don't have the opportunity to bat for the whole day either. So, just yeah, different skill sets. I'd say luck. Luck is not something that I'd go and associate it with. Damn it, we just need some of these aerial shots. Like I wish my aerial shots, that the amount of times. Well, sorry, let's go back and rephrase that. The amount of times I play shots that are aerial shots that end up going straight to the fielder, compared to the AI who just seem to have that knack of placing it just short of the fielder or going all the way and obviously hitting that 6. It's a bit of a pain. You know, I'm always stuck, never short, never over the top. It's always bam, straight to the fielder, which is a bit of a pain. Obviously, that's when we missed out on our 100 in the test match not too long ago, but Queensland aren't actually doing too bad at this stage. There was a stat that popped up before, none for 177 we were at this stage, but 205 still needed. So that is 350 that has been scored by the South Australian Redbacks. So 200 needed in the last 20 overs. So already required run rate above 10 with 20 overs left to go. Still 7 wickets left in the bag, so it's definitely not undoable, but definitely a very, very hard chase. That is going to require a lot more of those, a lot more boundary 4s and 6s as well. But still, wow, I can't believe how big of a score that we got. Like, that is just crazy. The orange juice makes a return. We haven't had it for a while, but today I just need it. Today, I'm actually recording this on Wednesday. And it's hot already. Like, I checked my phone before. I checked my phone when I got up and it was already 19 degrees. I can't imagine what it would be now. But it is stifling hot in my room. It's supposed to get even hotter tomorrow on Thursday, which I'm not really looking forward to. So I'm trying to get as much done on Wednesday as possible just because of the heat. Like, it is crazy. I don't know if it's the same everywhere else around New Zealand, but definitely in Christchurch. You know, even Monday as well. Like, Monday and Tuesday were freaking hot too. I swear that was another flash of lightning. I'm sure I'm not going crazy, like it's happened, and someone said in the comments of one of my last videos that they did see it as well. But I don't understand. I mean, it's overcast, but it's not. Well, it doesn't have to be raining to have a thunderstorm. You know, you could definitely have a thunderstorm like this, but surely the players would go off. Maybe not. I think we did get Kawaja. I don't know who got it, but 194. This is going to be a big win, big net run rate win as well. I can never say that right. Net run rate. Try and say that 10 times fast. I bet you can't. It's just, it's a hard one to say. Dot balls. Well, sorry, play and misses, not dot balls. Play and misses. They've been few and far between in this innings. I think it is, you know, if you score 350 batting first, it must be a good batting pitch. Either that or the bowlers you're coming up against are just terrible. But I think it is a really, really good pitch that we're playing on here today, and I think that's why we have been troubled. I mean, we picked up all those wickets in the test arena. Just as I say that, we go and clean bowl Chris Hartley. Middle stump out of the ground. Off and leg just stay as they are, but middle stump has just been Dale-stained. That's probably the word I'm looking for, Dale-stained. I was actually looking, there was something on Facebook, and I think it was actually exactly the same as that. It was a picture of Dale Steyn after he bowled, and it was something like, "You've been Dale Stained," and off and leg was still there, and middle stump was almost towards the square leg umpire. James Hopes gets off the mark. That pisses me off. Players get off the mark with a 6. little bit expensive today, going at just over 5, but 2 for 32 so far off our 6. So 4 overs left to go, which hopefully we can go towards the end of the innings and hopefully pick up some wickets as well. It's a bit of a shovel to the onside by Peter Forrest. Peter Forrest is one of those guys that has kind of just fallen off the map a little bit. Like he was I think he was called up to the Australian side in absence of Michael Clarke. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he was called up. Michael Clarke was injured, and I think, or possibly even George Bailey was injured as well. And they'd kind of scouted him as like a future leader of the side. And he didn't have the greatest record. I know he did hit 100. I don't know about his other games. But he was one of those guys who was kind of, who's picked in there. He was, I think, one of the series, I think Michael Clarke may have been injured. George Bailey was captaining the side. I think Peter Forrest, I could be wrong, Shane Watson was probably the vice-captain, but I think he was, there was definitely talk around the Australian camp and in the Australian media that he was, he was being touted as, a future experienced middle order player. And then he kind of just fell off the map. I remember seeing him not too long ago played for, obviously, no he doesn't obviously because you can change around, but he played for the Heat. And I think he opened the batting for the Heat, and that was the first time I'd seen him. That would have been earlier this year, I think. But apart from that, this is what I hate about being captain. Picking the bowlers. No, only kidding. It's good fun. 3 overs left. Hopefully we can, if we can pick up 3 wickets, pick up a 5 for, that would be outstanding because the Bulls, I guess they're kind of in a bit of a tricky situation here where they've got 140, no, they've got 170. God, what is my maths doing? They've got 170 left to score of 14 overs. So what do they do in this situation here? Do they go out and have a slap? Try and come off and, maybe get bowled out for 220? If it comes off, they may go and score 300 kind of thing. Not if we keep taking wickets like that. Peter Forrest, a man we were just talking about, the forgotten man, I'm going to call him, of Australian cricket, has just gone. I wouldn't say he's the forgotten man. If Khawaja didn't make his comeback soon, I'd probably say that he would be the forgotten man. I don't know. Who do you guys think is the forgotten, not just of Australian cricket? Cause I'm going to say majority of the fans probably come from Australia, New Zealand, England, and India. So what I want you guys to comment down below is who is your, I guess, player who started off, had a decent run of games, decent form, and then kind of just fell off the map and just disappeared, So let me know. Peter Forrest, maybe. I'm trying to think New Zealand, who's someone who kind of, made a really good bouncing debut, had a really good debut, and then kind of just dropped off the map a little bit. And just hasn't been recalled since. In New Zealand, in recent times, he has been called back up. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the topic that I am talking about. But Matt Henry, before the World Cup, had an incredible series against India, I believe it was, and then was a bit unlucky to miss out on the final 15 of the World Cup. He obviously went in later because Adam Milne got injured. Maybe for New Zealand, like Grant Elliott. I guess he's come back now. Another one would be for New Zealand, Michael Paps. Now, he hasn't really fallen off the radar kind of thing. He obviously still plays. I think he captains Wellington, actually. He's captaining their T20 campaign. But he was a guy who I think has an average of 50 plus in one-day internationals. Or is it tests? It's one of the two. But he was playing, and I think one day he actually got hit. Surely that's out LBW. Surely. There's 2 of the 3 that we wanted. Beautiful. But yeah, had an average of 50 plus in one of the formats, either one days or tests. And then he's kind of just disappeared off the map. Obviously, he's still playing domestic cricket for Wellington, a former Canterbury lad. But yeah, he's one that just, I guess Australia, again, not off the radar, but a guy who had a fairly decent debut or a fairly decent run of games and then didn't really get called up would be someone like Brad Hodge. But I think with that, there's something that's gone on, in the administrative side of Cricket Australia, where something's been said or he's done something that's not quite right, and I think that's what has gone on there. So we're coming into our final over. 2 wickets left for Queensland. We need just 1 to finish off that 5-fer. So hopefully we can go and do that against, I think, 2 tail enders in. Jesus, they left that second run late. Oh! Because of that, they've almost been run out. They almost completed the first run. Stood around and was just like, yep, we'll just see, we'll just see. Then as soon as the fielder got it and was due to throw it, they're like, oh yeah, we'll take a second. What kind of... That's just foolish. Luke Fieldman is... He's actually a police officer in real life, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure I heard that one day on Big Bash commentary. But yeah, police officer, big unit. I mean, I wouldn't want to run into him in the dark anyway. Or I wouldn't want to run into him after I've been up to no good. He'd floor you. Big time. I still can't believe that run they took. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. 3 balls, 4 for 45. A little bit expensive, you know. Normally we're used to going and obviously being economical. Thought we could have potentially had a chance there. Nice wee aerial cut from James Hopes. But nothing yet. Yeah, normally we do go for a wee bit less, but I mean we have picked up those 4 wickets, and it seems to be a fairly good track that we're playing on as well. So just nudging it into that gap. Quick between the wickets. Then again, he is a police officer. He's got to be fast. He's got to chase down those crims somehow. Final ball to James Hopes. Can we make it a 5-fer? No, he blocks it out. Jimmy Hopes, what are you doing? What are you doing? Alright guys, as we simulate to the end, which probably is going to be when 158 needed off about 54 overs. Sorry, 54 deliveries, not 54 overs. As you can see, the Redbacks win by 137 runs. Klinger man of the match, 161 off 57. Phil Hughes finished with 154, not out off 122. So that was the big partnership that really got us to that big, massive score. Anyway, guys, do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links that can be found down below in the description. Hope you guys have had a good week so far. Thank you for watching. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got some more Rugby League Live 3 carrying on with the Eels pre-season games. Make sure you do not miss that.